Yes. And the tobacco.
Is a part of the composition.
Há outra coisa, de 10 em 10 minutos temos que recomeçar a gravação, porque os clipes são...
Dá para mais um pouco.
Prefere falar em português ou em inglês?
I will try English.
Wonderful. Okay.
If it is very bad, you can take it.
Yeah, and translate it into French.
Alexandre, queres que apareça também?
Sim.
Se quiseres.
Okay. with the drawing. So we can start to talk about the notebooks and how they are important for your research and design process when developing your designs. This is one of the first that you produced in '77. In it features two important projects, the neighborhood of Bolsa here in Porto and the bank in Vila do Conde. And through the several notebooks that we'll see some transfer between the ideas in these two projects. So we would be interested in understanding how you develop your designs through this instrument, the notebook, and what are the ideas that are being discussed in it.
I began using the sketchbooks when I had the work for Évora. Until then, all my work, and not much work, was in Porto or around Porto. When I began to go to Évora, very far for us Portuguese, I had the need to take notes, because it was a complex process with the participation of the neighbors, and so a plan and all the houses, projects of the house. So I had to take notes, because already then I had not an incredible memory. The calendar.
Of course, to organize work.
I still make these sketchbooks because I still am working, and there are differences. This is last one. One difference starting, I don't know how many years ago, was a private calendar. When I put things I have to do each day, because in this way I don't forget. It's better than I have a special book only for this. So I stayed at home always. No work outside Portugal. So I began drawing myself. And not only myself.
But this idea of drawing yourself is interesting, because often you draw yourself inside the drawings you're producing, like as if you are seeing yourself from the outside.
Sometimes I was alone.
Yeah.
So I had no other model, but I have many portraits, not in this time. In a moment I did not much make drawings, except sketches for study of architecture, because I had too much work, I concentrated much in the work, so I forget the drawings and so on. Here, already the interiors, organization of the interiors. Cars are small, had to be small according to the budget available. This was social housing, financed by government, so there were limits of dimension. So the space should be very fluid, so that you did not live in the houses they lived before, the Ilhas Islands. The patio was very good for creating a transition between the street and the climate in exterior, Évora in summertime is very, very hot. So this is a transition with pergola sometimes, trees and so, to make a more comfortable interior.
And these were already things that you saw when you visited the pre-existing houses in the illegal settlements. There were already patios that were covered with...
No, that was, I hear many times people saying that this is based in vernacular architecture, and it is not. But vernacular in the landscape of Alentejo is very important, of course, but not only. I mean, it's not vernacular from the point of view of the form, but the point of view of some elements that adapt tradition very well. Yes, it is. One is the patio, by reason I explained you. The other is the dimension of the house, the windows, the windows. The other is the white. Then there are different reasons. It's white because in Évora everything is white. The whole town that you can see from here, everything is white. So how could I put a different color only to make people happy that I doubt they became happier with the color? So it's white. The other reason is the white reflects. So for the protection of the house, thermal comfort, it's also very good. And so there are a lot of reasons. But I still wrote or heard that Malagueira is neo-rationalism, or it is expressionism, or it is
Roman,
vernacular, so and so. The only reference I remember that was very influent, particularly in the beginning, was a visit I could make before, just before, to Pompeia, where I was encantado with that big area of houses connected in bands, orthogonality and so, and how they relate compact construction with big halls,
patios,
squares and so, and how they use that to make a good answer to the topography. Those torsions you can see always in Grecia. In Grecia, these torsions. It's not a formal trick. It's how to adapt in big scale to the topography, not in small scale.
And that also becomes important in Évora.
That was the main thing in Évora. And then a lot of other things, of course, as the lack of materials is built in the boom of construction, in part clandestine, so there were not materials. The first reason why there is not roof tiles in Évora is that there were not tiles, because there was a boom of small construction. But it became a good reason because now portraits. This time in the 70s and the 80s, I began making many drawings, portraits. Now I lived alone with my son and my daughter, and in where I lived, had moved many friends, architects and painters and so. And one very good friend, that was Soutinho, that is still Many times in the evening after dinner, I would go to his house, which was in front, and to speak, to see television, to amuse, and so. This was another very good friend, Rolando. And many times I would
That
make
worked
portraits.
with you in the church.
In Marco.
In Marco.
Yeah. So this family, this is the wife of me,
And
so on. And then I began making many drawings, not specifically on architecture. The daughter of Soutinho. Portraits. And after this, the cupola, and how it articulates with
the portico,
covered
the conduit.
portico. So this was the covered way was built. So when you come there, you find this opening,
And that was also,
really you see the cupola.
and that was also important, that this element that was the infrastructural spine of the neighborhood also becomes the urban image in some
Yes.
parts of the neighborhood and gives it a bigger scale.
Well, one of the reasons is that I knew I would have during years only financements for houses, small scale, and in the general plan should be houses with 2 floors, and small scale, and I needed to. I felt the need to introduce some things in a different scale, and so, but there was not money for the equipment. But this,
Had to
I
be built.
thought making this needed, making needed this for distribution of the infrastructures. Was very difficult to approve this. Didn't want. What happened was, in the meetings was telephone company, sanitary system, so municipality, television, gas, and they never were able to have a consensus to make this. So meetings. In the end, I got it here. Why? Because there was a visit of the president, Ramalhianos. The mayor asked me to speak of this. Was not approved in Lisbon. And I spoke, and one functionary came, which means how in that time was still this respect, excessive respect toward the institution and authority. And so he came and said, no, it's already approved. And then that functionary had big problems.
Yes.
I know him, but they have to approve.
Yeah.
So this is ode to Ramalhianos. And it was fantastic, this small story, because the mayor asked him to go to Malagueira to speak of this, but he didn't want. He said, no, I don't want, because this is a problem with politics of government, conflict between local and I don't want to interfere in that. But the mayor organized, when he went to Ever, organized a lunch in a restaurant in front of Malagueira. And they told me, and in the end, I was there in the lunch, and he came outside with the president, there was Malagueira.
Yeah.
And began and said, Siza, architect. And I went, explained it. In the end was approved.
Entrapment.
Well, and we could say, change that thing there. And the builder would say, but that costs money. And we could say, no problem, I don't need that, take that. And the money of that can take
go to the
that,
other thing.
don't execute there, and money you put there. And say, okay, fantastic.
But
You even did not have to tell the administrator, I will change this. Today this is impossible. And one of problems, I think, for architecture today is that you lost this possibility of
continuing the
it's
work.
not only the project, it is the whole process. You are not allowed. There comes a team of, is called gestion of construction, and you say that, and they say, no, it's impossible. And they have more power. They are contracted by the owner.
Yeah.
They have more power than the architect or the engineers, and they receive more money also.
Yeah. And they don't
So-
care a lot about the quality of the design, they care about the budget.
No, some care, but they are not involved in continuity since the first idea with
The result.
definition of. So it's a sad thing. I told him make this way is better, and he told me coldly. In Berlin, we don't. In German, in Berlin, we don't do like that. Next day, I came back, and he was waiting for me and told me, I was thinking, you are right. It's much better, much easier to put in this way.
Yeah.
I said, okay. I went to the office. I was working with Brinkert in his office. And I received a call from the director of construction. That was furious. He almost insulted me, saying, if you want to change something, discuss something, you speak to me, the director, and then I will tell or not the worker. And then I felt this is changing.
Yeah.
It will arrive to Portugal.
Yeah.
In a way it's good that things arrive to Portugal, but some.
That's so good.
And it happened, of course.